let's go here real quick. Andre Ward, former professional boxer. I think he's undefeated. I don't think he took an L in his professional career. He said something very, very interesting on TikTok. I'm going to play the video and then we can have a conversation.
I don't think I ever said this publicly, but I lost most of my family because of success. When I was in the streets, trying to box and be in the streets, and I'm showing up to the family function high, everybody was cool with me. Mm-hmm. When I was drunk, everybody was cool. Oh, look at him, they laughing, it's a joke. But when me and my wife start elevating and we start putting boundaries in place, like, nah, we ain't gonna do that, man. Hey, y'all can drink at y'all house, but I don't drink no more, man. God took that from me. I don't want to. What? It became an issue. Even with my faith, I started putting boundaries. Like, man, I can't do that no more. That's your business if you want to do it, right. But I just can't do it. It's hurtful. Yep. But what I learned is you got to let God have his way, because he's listening to them conversations that you're not privy to. He knows people's hearts. We may look up like, that's my sister, that's my brother. Yep. He know the heart better than us. Yep. So when God removes somebody, we got to let him go. So I got to cry, do what I got to do, but I got to let you go over there until your heart change, if it ever change at all. Yep. Or else God going to say, I tried to tell you. It's hard losing people, but you got to choose your heart. Because you either had a heart of creating boundaries and letting people gossip and move on and your circle gets smaller, or you could choose the heart of not saying no, not having no boundaries, and you look up and your money ain't right at the end of your career, or everybody got stuff and you looking like, bro, I ain't got nothing. I bought everybody a house, I got everybody a car, everybody got vacation, but now I ain't got what I'm supposed to have and I can't fight no more. Yeah. That's hard too. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, it ain't no easy road. We just got to choose which heart we want to choose. I don't think I ever said.
I think it's tough to, I agree with him. I think it's tough with family because, man, oftentimes, unfortunately, family be the ones that hurt you the most, bro. Family be the ones that hurt you the most. Because I think as Christians, like, we have a heart for people. And like, we have a heart for our family. You know what I mean? And like, I understand as Christians, we're all brothers and sisters in Christ. I get it. I understand it. I get it. But the ones who you grew up with, the people who raised you, the ones who you've been around, it's hard when you're going through stuff with those individuals. It's hard when those people aren't on the same page as you, especially when you add success. That's already a whole different animal in itself, because that comes with a lot of stuff. That comes with handouts. That comes with feeling obligated to help. And there ain't nothing wrong with helping people, but sometimes you can help people to a point where they're dependent on you to help them, which ultimately causes them more distress, more pain, and makes the problem worse. But as somebody who is successful, and I'm sure there's people in the chat who can relate, as people who are successful, I'm not specifically talking about myself, I'm just talking about in general, it's hard to not, want to be there for those people. It's hard to not want to help those people. You know what I mean? But at a certain point, there is an amount of animosity that is created, and it's tough. But then you add in the faith component. When you have family members who aren't on the same page as you from a faith standpoint, it's very tough, especially when they try to downplay and criticize your decision making, simply because that decision making is rooted in your belief in God. It's difficult. It's difficult. I don't really know where that line is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where the line is between cutting off a family member and being with that person and trying to be patient with that person and trying to lead that person to God. I don't know what that line looks like. That's ultimately going to be between you and God. That's going to be a conversation between you and God to figure out what that looks like in your life. Because if your commitment to that family member is deterring your faith and is causing you to backslide and is causing you to fall into old behavior, then that may not be the calling for you right now. You may have to cut that person off and pursue God until, he tells you that you're ready to be in that situation. I don't know what that cutoff looks like. But even in my own life, man, there's conflicts. Every family has conflicts. And for me, I don't really understand having essentially, I'm gonna say this, but I hope you understand what I mean. I don't understand having like eternal grudges against family members in terms of like, I know there might be disagreement. Well, depending on what it is, but once again, if God can forgive, then we can forgive as well. It might be tough. I don't know what that family member did to you. You know what I'm saying? If that family member assaulted your child, bro, I understand that it must take a lot for you to forgive that person. Like, I don't know what that family member did to you, but I'm just speaking in my situation. Like, there's like some stuff that has happened between family members, and it's like, bro, how you can't forgive. You know what I mean? Like, if so and so were to pass away, you're telling me that you would have zero regret in terms of how you handled that relationship while they were still on earth. You know what I mean? But once again, it's a line. It's a fine line, and I don't know where that line begins and ends, if that makes sense. But I thought how he articulated it was great. I agree. I didn't know he was a man of faith like that. I didn't know he believed in God like that. So it was cool to see him have that conversation. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think.